Here's just a little taste. We're about to finish up. This is the hallway going into the bedroom. Well, come to find out, my wife looks at it. She got a very keen eye. She says, I think that's got a crown in the middle and it's falling off on both sides. Well, you can't have that if you got straight boards out of hardwood. So we end up putting some leveling compound down, a straight edge, and screeding it all the way back. You know, after the baseboards have to be ripped off, and then you screed it all the way back nice and flat. It's got to come up nice and flat against the luxury vinyl tile we've had installed in all the wet sections. You got to come up to carpet in the bedrooms. You got to come up to tile in the hallways. But once she's in, look at here. We've got, they call it Aqua Pro. It's a 2-layer craft paper with the asphalt metered inside. It's called 30-30-30. The weight of a ream of paper is 30 on the top, 30 on the bottom, and it's 30% asphalt. And that keeps the moisture from coming in too fast. It allows it to breathe, of course. Wood's a living thing. It has to breathe. And we've got ways to track that, right? We've got the humidity meter for the room itself. We have to be between 35 and 55%, or this wood is going to crack open or buckle up if it gets too much moisture. So we're good there. We're at 39. And then we also have the moisture meter, which you stick in the actual wood itself, and it gives you a reading, and it must be within 4% on the base flooring, which is 3/4 inch plywood with a 3/8 inch wafer board. That must be at, say, 7%, and the actual hardwood must be within 4% of that 7%. So everything has to be equal. Didn't find that out. So when I found that out, well, what's that require? Encapsulating the crawl space. Well, what's that require? Well, that requires a 20 mil liner on the floor of the crawl space. It requires all the old insulation to be taken out, all the old 6 mil poly to be pulled out, a sump pump put in for the groundwater that raises, a jet out in the yard that gets pumped out from the crawl space, a dehumidifier that's 120 pint of moisture removed per day, which pretty good for, I mean, it's only a 4-foot tall crawl space. And it's not like a full basement, it's like a half basement, really. But that's where all my furnace is at. That's where all my sewer lines are at, my water lines are at, all the heating and air, all the washer and dryer vents, all that. And here's the hardwood floor. They got her all laid. Came up against the fireplace, had a jam cutter with a diamond-tipped blade, cut all the grout out from underneath the hearth and laid that in there. It looks like the fireplace was built on top of this hardwood flooring, the way they did that. And it was painstaking and messy. Had to have a HEPA filter vacuum for all the dust. But turned out pretty nice. So now it butts up right against the luxury vinyl tile in the kitchen with a transition strip. And so that's really the first project. All I did was sit there in my rocking chair after I retired and thought about what kind of home improvements would I like to make. And one of them was I'd like to have hardwood flooring. Well, who knew what that entailed? So we had to run wiring, call electrician in to run wiring for the sump pump, dehumidifier down in the crawl space. Had to have the thing encapsulated by a foundation company. I found one foundation wall was sinking in about 4 inches, so we ended up putting a threaded all rod 10 foot out into the yard, putting a metal plate out in the yard and a metal bar on the inside, and drawing that foundation block wall on top of the footer back into place and holding it with a nut on both ends. All I wanted was a little hardwood floor. So we got her, and we're happy. So we will talk to you next time. This is a Luxury Craftsman.